to put these comments up on this screen. My wife is here helping, but just in case she is surfing kitten videos or something and missing some comments, we have to go back. It's just nice to have them up on the big screen. That's true.
Should be in your tail.
Yes. Check. It's silence. Hello, everybody. Pretty Wicked Desire. Hello. I don't know if I've seen you on before. I would remember that screen name, I think. All right, so I must tug on your cord. Didn't even buy you dinner first. All right, let's go over here. We'll physically do some going. So, question for you guys who are watching already. Do you want me to hair these masks or pop them off and make more sock masks? I got to hair them all eventually, but you want to pull them off of the head form before you then glue down hair, just so you don't have 2 layers of glue holding them down. So I'm going to start popping them free so that I can either hair them or move them and put on the next wave of grave diggers and go. You know. Yes, I am on. Rob O'Brien, what made you hope I'm going to be on?
Kurt got his compass to me.
Yeah, I saw that. He's going to walk his dog wearing it.
That's good timing. I thought it would take longer.
Whatever is easier. They're both about the same. So now sock mask is here. I have a short enough neck that I can tuck this neck into my t-shirt. Not everybody can do that. The dogs were scared of your Krampus mask. That happens sometimes. Okay. Go ahead. Do the other. I think what I'm going to do is build more sock masks so that I can, then have like a Harapalooza and just knock them all out. I'm kind of having Sockapalooza right now. One day you'll find it, the Sockapalooza. Okay, and I've got my hand kind of up his face, just pushing, working. And I'm releasing a little bit of the contact cement so that it just slips off. And now I have half mask with a sock attached that is going to be a nice, comfortable mask. So.
Lots of saying hellos.
If anybody new says hello that we haven't seen before, make sure you tell me so I can say hi to them. Not that the people who are always on are not important, but new people should be acknowledged. We're not going to acknowledge Lucky 2001. We're not going to acknowledge them. Except they're kind of going slow. Here we go. Pow. So I think I'm gonna pop one on here, and I said I was gonna make more sock masks. I've already lied to you. It seems like shipping, depending upon like what hub it goes through, depends on whether or not it's fast.
Today, a lot of people got things today. I've gotten a bunch of messages.
It is Good Friday
I think
evening.
one of these is Michelle's. She got,
One of these is Michelle's.
yeah.
One of these 6 about to go out.
Still waiting on her grave digger to tell her that pretty sure one of these is hers.
Okay. Yeah. I'm happy with that. This is a good sized head. I have a larger head form and I have a smaller head form. This is my middle head form, and that's what I hair most of these on. So let's get some her up in her. Okay.
Hello.
Today is Good Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Well, that's Easter Sunday. I wonder if I will get an Easter basket this year. I wonder if that bunny has forgotten about it. So here's the hair. Here's the kind I buy. It's shitty hair extensions, but any hair extensions. I tried to get the 6 or 8 inch. This is the 8-inch hair extensions. Kind of matches my beard. But being gray silver, it goes good with a black and white grape digger. Right here, it's folded. That's folded over. And I always nip that to have 2 strands. His hair is so beautiful.
Is this some of the new thing?
Yeah, this is the stuff I just got in.
How well do these masks ventilate?
How well do they ventilate? It's not a full head latex mask, so because their air can move through the fabric of the mask, no problem. But also, I always cut nose holes and mouth hole in, so you can breathe pretty well. See, there's the hair. Scott has posted that link. Thank you, sir. Lots of colors available. And I am hoping that I can get 2 grave diggers out of 1 package of hair. That is my hope. I'm not going to go thin and chintzy, so if it takes me, you know, a pack and a half, then it takes me a pack and a half. All right. Silicone caulking. Clear. Caulking. Let's be clear.
How many
It's
did
like-
you try tonight?
What's that, honey?
How many are you trying tonight? 2? How many you're trying with hair? 2?
I want to be able to hair 2 masks with 1 package of hair. If I can't do that, then I can't, but I'll probably get 5 of them haired tonight.
One of these. Belongs to Plastic Ninja.
Well, that's cool.
Alright. Is there a translucent UV ink or paint?
Yes, there is. It's a washing detergent. But there's also, I also get the stuff that the bubble fog juice for foggers, and you can use that depending upon what you're doing. Like I wouldn't necessarily use it on makeup.
Russ Reichert said, let's be clear, are you caulking to me? Are you caulking to me? I'm the only one here. Oh, Ross. Oh, Ross!
Okay. I like to cut it beforehand. I'd rather not have it be hanging there while it is trying to set.
There are many on tonight that are,
New?
no, our regulars.
Our regulars.
Our regular folks.
That's good. We don't have to explain to the regulars why we're weird or how we're weird.
Do you always use silicone caulk to adhere the hair, or can you use hot glue?
Hot glue doesn't stretch, so I'm putting it on spandex. And if I use hot glue, I could use hot glue, but if I use hot glue, then I'm going to lose my stretch because most hot glue has no stretch.
No thumbs down yet, haha.
Not yet. It's coming, I'm sure.
Somebody will.
I always get one thumbs down.
Alan, you cut quite the image in a silver boa.
I try. Smush. Push. Go.
The hair extensions don't stretch, do they?
They do not. The hair extensions do not stretch. The keto diet is actually going very well. I'm actually down, I'm close to 50 pounds down from when I started. But it's, when you start at 360, it's actually really tough to tell those first 30, 40, 50 pounds. Yeah, I've just gotten away. Because I decided I did want to live deliciously. And I had the pizza, and I had the cheeseburgers. And you can have one or the other, but you shouldn't have both.
Alan, you said that you were, oh, you're, those three can't quit.
I just saw it at the same time. Today I can keep track pretty well. However,
Stop.
I'm not gonna look at comments so my wife can tell me the
Or
comments.
you, well, the other, because I'm doubling up on you. Those
Hit
3
me.
cans of Loctite foam have had my attention for several days.
Loctite foam is a remarkable product. Okay? It is what I use to fill masks now. When I want to foam fill masks. I really like it. How many people are on, honey? I bet at least 7.
52.
52. Must be a Friday during quarantine.
How do you plan on using the laser cutter to cut the hair?
Just lasery. How? You just do. You just do it. You have to have the right settings on it, and then once you have the right settings, then it's pretty simple. It has a table, it has a bed, it has those kind of things.
Would the laundry detergent hurt the latex? And would you airbrush it or hand brush it
I would airbrush, and I don't think it will hurt latex.
Jordan said he's here now.
Which Jordan?
Jordan Measle.
Aha! Jordan, you don't know it, but my Facebook profile picture right now is a bunch of sheet ghosts. Not my profile picture, but my cover photo. You're probably not on Facebook, because Facebook is for old people. But if you were, you would know that my cover photo is sheet ghosts. And the amount of people that said, "Is that for Jordan?" was high.
Your sculpting bust is sitting here judging me, says Michael Lester.
Yes, that's the one that they call Ron Perlman. Looks a little like that.
In my opinion, this method of laying hair attaching to a strand looks much better than laying it in individual strands.
When you lay it in individual clumps, it can look a little clumpy. Now, I've got a layered look, but I like it because it's fast, and when it's faster, it can help me keep the masks cheaper. I don't have to charge as much.
Hold on to something. Laura Kirchhoff's on.
Laura Kirchable's on.
Laura Kirchhoff.
The bars must be closed.
They're right there in front of you, and I keep waiting for you to grab one and show us some cool phone tricks.
Well, hold on to your hats, kids. You might have to wait as long as, I don't know, Wednesday.
Laser cutters are pretty sweet.
Yes, that is what I want right now more than anything. Is a big. Actually, first I want to be out of trans world debt. then I want to get myself a laser cutter, because when you have the right tools, you can think in those tools. There's I can't think in 3D printers. I've never had a 3D printer. So I just can't think of how it would help me. What does it do? Well, it'll print things 3D. Well, I already sculpt and mold things 3D, so I'm a 3D printer. I'm the 3D printer. So I don't think in that. Yeah, that looks good. And now the classic old man bald pate. I'm going to fill that in.
I figured the laser cutter would burn the hair.
It burns it burns the part of the hair it comes in contact with. Yes, it do.
CNC router. Jordan is not on Facebook. Dead End Yard Mod says, I made a big snowman out of Loctite foam.
Dude, Loctite foam is awesome. I love it.
If they get stuck in the ceiling, does that mean the sheets have hit the fan?
That was Ross, wasn't it?
That was Ross.
Ah, you're killing me, Ross.
I was looking at 3D printers as possible for pumpkins. It gave up the idea as it's not easily customizable for each pumpkin.
And you have to make it so that, yes, there should be a top hat on this because that's the look that I want. But I have to make this in such a way where it looks good without the top hat on it. Or else I'm doing a disservice to the customer. One of this servers won't customer.
Can be if you're into 3D modeling. I think that's plastic ninja.
Yeah, I think you need to, and that kind of stuff. But also for those kind of things, I often turn to like Fiverr, which is it's a website where you can get them to do things. Like my new intro for YouTube Wednesday, that was done on Fiverr. I went in, I told them what I wanted, and they did it.
Have you noticed any bond issues between the latex mask and from use over time?
Nothing that you can't just correct with some contact cement. I expect some bond issues on anything for a haunt because just the wear and tear that we put on things is so high.
Ross Ed Edmonds would be proud of your puns. Jordan Easel says that he made a friendly character named Julius. He is a sheet ghost with some pretty gruesome features.
I saw one of the sheet ghosts that you made, Jordan.
Plastic Ninja says if you're good with a blender, your pumpkins are endlessly customizable.
Right.
Chad Smith. I have a cloth body from Spirit that has plastic hands. I cut them off, removed the foam, and filled with great stuff. I spritzed water inside, but the foam shrunk a bunch and didn't fill them out. What did I do wrong?
You use great stuff. I mean, great stuff is very dependent upon the atmosphere. It'll shrink or not. Did you do it on a rainy day? Was it drizzling outside? Meaning, was there high humidity? Because if there was, that was your problem. Is a huge factor in spray foam. Great stuff. Okay, so this grave digger has hair. I have no idea how long that was, but that's how long it takes me. Now that has to set for about an hour in order for that caulking to really grab well, and then I can take it off and make another sock mask. So I might have to move to a Wolfman work in order to, while these guys set up. I know what I mean.
Say hello to Josh.
Hello, Josh Newman.
Jay Lee says it was about 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Have you tried the GE spray foam they're selling at Walmart now?
I have not tried that. My intent is to try it, just haven't had a chance. Okay.
People are watching.
58? That's a lot. So this is a job that I would love, like this is the kind of job I'd love to give to Rob. But we don't have a Rob right now because we have coronavirus. And we don't have it, but the country has it. So we're staying at home.
I removed the great stuff without tearing up the hands, so I'm going to try the Loctite foam and see how it does.
I prefer it. Do not do it on a humid day or a day when it's raining. Do it on a nice dry day. all foam is going to have some kind of reaction to humidity.
Some low Chad. Blanket, it's plywood. Plastic Ninja. This makes the mask extra special because now Alan lovingly made it for me.
That's right. I didn't make Rob do it under force of will. And you want to get those fibers in there, you work it into the fibers, and then whatever pops up the top, you spread along the edge.
You know, Plastic Ninja, I did not realize that that was you who ordered one of the Gravediggers. So, I might put a little something special in there.
Yeah, dead frog.
Just put him in something for King Kong. I do have a lot of videos to catch up on.
So, honey, before you send out Plastic Ninja's box, here's what I want. I want to have the time to draw the Wolfman beating up King Ghidra. I just want to make sure that I have time to draw that and include it in his package.
He said, okay now. So what happened to the Home Depot fits for it, though?
Nothing happened to it. Just this is so much easier. I still use the fence foam for a lot of things because it's instant. I mean, it's so fast, it's not even funny. But it's not as easy as the Loctite foam. Loctite foam easier. You can show up with a King Ghidra shirt. I bet they make more Wolfman shirts than they make King Ghidra shirts.
Why the switch from Iron Grip?
Iron Grip got harder to get. And in testing, in 1 hour, Iron Grip is the best because it cures faster. If you tested all of them 5 or 6 hours later, then this 100% silicone by GE was almost as good. And this I can buy at Walmart, I can buy it at Home Depot, I can buy it at Lowe's, anywhere. Just a little bit more. I'm putting down. What?
Well, Ezekiel asked if do them King Ghidra shirts come in men's?
That's funny.
Plastic Ninja says they're unisex because King Ghidra is low. Body Geeks. I tried getting Fud's foam, but I think it's being used as a toilet paper substitute here. Both Lowe's and Home Depot have been out of stock.
Well, you do what you gotta do.
Does anyone know if the price of lumber is down? I need to build a facade.
I have no idea.
Do you remember Ipso Cyrus? I'll send you the picture. That's from Jordan.
I do.
Wow, shots fired, Ezekiel.
Just coming, man. That's funny. Don't care who you are, that's funny.
Plywood went up in price here. I think my devil costume is looking like a Sid and Marty Krofft character.
That's not terrible. I mean, maybe that's what you're going for.
If I wanted to order clay to play with in Monster Camp, What should I order?
Water-based clay. White stoneware is good. Any low cone, non-firing clay is the easiest way to say it. That ceramic places would understand. Or you can order wet. That's fine too. Yeah, so this guy, I brought the hair more forward. I failed on the last one, and I left the hair back here a little bit. I'm still going to add a little bit as for sideburns right here, but up there is covered at least. Good.
Alexandria, I'm here for the puppies and or Doyle or Jones or Tuxie or Jinky Girl. And I guess to learn sock masks since we never did the Mara ones. Well, we have puppies in here, Alexandria.
Wait a minute. Is that Alex? That's Alex from Dark Hour.
Our Alex?
Yeah, that's Alex from Dark Hour. Because she's talking about the Marrow ones, which we were slated to do them for. We were slated to do them for our St. Patrick's show.
That explains why she knows the names of everybody. It's like, man, this person really knows our pets. Who is this?
They're a real stalker.
That's our Alex. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried air dry clay?
I have.
Most wood has gone up in price. I work for a company that uses a lot of wood, and we have many meetings on this. Is there clay that is stable to just leave as a sculpt and not molded?
Why? Why are you asking that?
That's an awesome mask there. Any tips for foam filling a mask with Loctite spray foam?
Yes. And I will give you those tips on Wednesday via a video.
Would you consider the Boogeyman my version to be a villain or an anti-hero? That is Jordan Diesel.
I would call him a villain.
Chad says, lucky, who? I guess it was storm season to make sense. So it makes sense, that's true. Wood can't go up in price more than 10% if your state has declared state of emergency.
No, that's interesting.
Warren, how's Bella doing?
Oh, did you tell her plight?
Yeah, I said right. She's fine. She'll get smaller helpings tomorrow to balance out her gluttony. She's fine. These dogs are bulletproof. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, see, and these guys are taking pretty much exactly half a package.
Buddy, the answer for is there a clay that is stable to just leave as a sculpt and not molded? Was a single sculpt prop and a haunt. That's Body Geeks brand.
So yes, what I would use is something called Magic Sculpt or epoxy clay. Any of the epoxy clays where it's two parts and you mix the two together to get it a different, to get it to be one color, and then you can sculpt with that. Once again, we has a grave digger.
It's YouTube Wednesday. For all these answers here. At one point, you were using packing foam, and you went away from it. Why?
You mean the kind of the big gun? Because I left the shop that had that gun. That's why. I love that. But, and actually, I got the gun. But I don't have the barrels of stuff right now. And I don't have the gun set up. So I will again one day. But also, it's very hard to teach people and tell people about that because it's just so unrelatable. Not many people have a big Instapack foam gun to do stuff with. Even though I could do stuff with it, it alienated me from you guys who may not have that. In some degree, it's cool to see people have that stuff, but in another, I want to show you guys stuff that you guys can do. All right. Ah!
Jordan would like to know why a villain he targets a scum.
Who targets what?
He targets scum. Why do you think he's a villain?
Does he murder scum?
It's not a sharp increase because of this. The price has gone up just in general. The quality has gone down. Okay, so, and the other says, I guess I can wait till Wednesday. You don't have to wait for your...
Just wait till Wednesday.
Great hair color.
Wednesday's video is literally on foam filling a mask with Loctite foam. That is what the video is. Now you all know early. I've ruined Christmas for 65 people.
I hope someone regrets some nose hairs on one of those grave diggers. I'm sorry. I hope someone requests nose hair on one of those grave diggers. That would be so gross.
What is wrong with you?
That's not right. I was never good at waiting for surprises. Now everybody wants to know.
I think if he's killing people, he's a villain. If he's killing them, he's a villain. I'm on Gravedigger 3, and then I'll have to switch to a werewolf project. Because I won't be able, I don't have, yeah, I know what I mean.
Have you seen Brian Blair's doctor mask for this year? It has nose hair, really gross looking. Talk about social distancing.
I did see that.
Did you use the same technique for doing a beard or a mask?
A beard on a mask? Yes, except you have to lay your last edge and cut that seam off and just glue it down, or else you have a weird looking hairline. On these guys, I beat the hairline switching from this way to this way and doing the hair. So now the only weird looking little bit of a seam I've got is this bit right here. Every other bit is covered of seam. So, yeah.
Graybeard doesn't need nose hair. Never looks like Grandpa. Saying goodnight to Michael Lassiter.
Oh, good night, Michael Lassiter.
Will Schaefer. Werewolf. Terrific.
No, Wolfman. Werewolves have a snout. Wolfman does not have a snout.
Jordan has a comment up there.
Jordan? Yeah, I see that now, but if he's killing people, then he's a villain. Punisher is a villain. That's why he wasn't on the Defenders. Because he's not a good guy. Not very heroic to go murderizing folks.
Hello, Lanny.
Lenny!
Batman says, snout, no snout. Good to know. Punisher is an anti-hero.
He is an anti-hero. But he's also a villain. He has been played both ways.
Most villains think they're good ones.
Yes, they do.
I can't find any wig shops near me. Know where I can find hair online.
Where do you live? Like what town? What city? Oh, and yes, Scott posted the link of where you can find this hair online. He posted a link to it.
This argument sounds like the one you and Plastic Ninja are having.
Just saying.
There is a lot of debating that is going on this.
And anti-hero, by the way, is a word that was made up by people who want to be heroes but still want to kill people. They want to live in the gray area. You can't do that. You got to do it right or you don't.
What time? I have video on Wednesday?
What happens, I think he's asking about YouTube Wednesday. YouTube Wednesday actually goes live midnight Tuesday night. As soon as it's Wednesday, YouTube Wednesday is available. So at midnight on Tuesday, AM, as soon as it becomes Wednesday, these are in.
You are subscribed.
Yeah, if you're subscribed. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be nice. You don't have to.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
I never read comics. I just dig the MCU movies and shows.
I like them too. I feel it's important for me to keep track of characters, and comics are part of a subculture that can help tell you what's going on in the world. So I do look at comics for work-related reasons. Kind of like I have to know what horror movies are coming because I'm a haunted house guy.
Video will be done when the cans disappear.
No, the video's already done. See, YouTube Wednesday can't work that way. Like I can't shoot it Tuesday; it would never get put out on time. I have to have that video done way ahead of time. So it's already on YouTube, waiting to be released. It's on a timed launch.
I got up and saw YouTube was back, and I was like, man, I missed this so much.
Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying it.
Lives in Glendale, Arizona. Right here.
I bet you could find some in Glendale, Arizona. The only place I think would be hard is like Salt Lake City. I don't know how many wig shops are in Salt Lake City. If you go to an area with a more ethnic population, and look at beauty supply stores, but not a chain beauty supply store like Sally's or Ulta. You don't want that. You want like Queen Beauty Supply. Again, the more ethnic the name, the better, because they're going to have a better selection for you of this type of product. These are meant to be hair extensions. And when you show people in there the monsters you make with the same hair extensions they use, they go, ooh, child. At least the last lady did. That's what she said to me.
I didn't think I ever asked. What did you think of the new Halloween from last year?
Haven't seen it. But I'm not a huge fan of horror movies that aren't supernatural in nature. I like monster movies. So I've got a monster in it. I'm not overly, excited about it. So I'll see it eventually, but I haven't yet.
I actually don't like horror movies. They're usually too fake for my taste.
I like monster movies.
My favorite Batman comic is Arkham Asylum, a serious house on serious Earth, which has insane art.
Cool.
I see a basement cat.
Oh, you see a black kitty somewhere?
Miss Jenkins is in here. God. Hello, just stopped to say hello. Going to pull my mask tomorrow morning and I can't wait.
Awesome. It's like Christmas. Every time you pull a new mask. I have the itch to make some new things. I love orders rolling in. When they're done, though, when I'm done filling them, I'm going to sculpt some new monsters. Or just make some.
Do you already know what you're going to do?
Yeah. I want to make a three-eyed goat demon. And I want to make a boar monster guy. Rocksteady was the rhino and Bebop was the boar, because they started with R and B. So I want to make like a Bebop but scary.
I want to do a different take on a money vest.
You said that. I have a suggestion for you. Do a skull. And then you can add bandages and stuff on top of that to make your mummy. But you also then have a skull mask that you can treat other ways too. A skull is a very useful mold to have because you can do so much with it. Basement cat.
Old school, I love it.
Not as kind or benevolent as ceiling cat.
Going to get down to the 40s deep in Texas Sunday and Monday. Time to work in the outdoor sheds.
In the 40s.
It's going to be chilly this weekend.
Really?
Just not terrible. Doable. Are you eventually do a full body outfit for the Frankenstein mask?
I already have it. I just haven't showed it to you guys yet.
Big Dog says we might do both.
I already have a full Frankenstein costume to sell, but I haven't released it yet. Another thing that I'm trying to do is, if I released everything I was bringing to Transword all at the same time, I would get some orders. But if I next month release a few new things, and the month after release a few new things, I'm hoping that I can get more orders over time because of the release.
You should show everybody Jenkins.
Think I could pick her up? Well, I'll pick her up. I'm going to take Jenkins over here to pick her up. Jenkins. I got a Jenkins.
So bonus.
This is our black kitty Jenkins, who doesn't mind being picked up, would kind of prefer it if I didn't have her picked up. She really doesn't like it when I hold her like a baby. Like a baby. Baby Jenkins is a baby.
I hate you.
This is the look of a pissed off kitty. But if I let her go, she would stand right here with her tail up. She wouldn't run away or anything.
All right. Alan the businessman.
Okay, that was awesome.
Let's say you were interviewing for the perfect job. To see one thing you made to showcase your talents. What would the one perfect thing be to show off your skills? Chad Smith, you asked the best questions. That's fun. Question.
Okay, you ready for my answer?
We're ready.
My marriage.
Oh.
Because the biggest thing about any job is how well they get along with other people. And that is, a solid marriage and being able to get along with that person, and all that entails making compromises and you know, holding up your end of the weight in a relationship and work and all that stuff. That's a big deal. And I think that that would show that, I don't know, that was the thing that popped into my mind. That's what I would show them.
Posable mannequins. What do you think of the golf ball PVC joints? Or do you have a better option?
I use a wire that you can get from Home Depot. It's a fencing wire, and it's very strong, and I run it through the PVC, and then I just leave a gap where the wire is, and you can just bend.
Wait till Shannon blows the interview for you by telling all your stories.
Well, then I think I would get the job because they would look forward to seeing me naked, and they would like expect that to be a regular occurrence, even though it wouldn't be.
All those naked stories.
Yeah. That's a perk. Who are you kidding? Look at all of this. All right, so this is the hair that's left over, and that one actually used a little more than a half a package, but that's okay.
Connie Pierce, yay, naked stories.
I didn't even know she was on.
She is naked.
But she pops up for the naked stories.
Oh my goodness. Talk about a casual Friday.
Yeah. All right, let's put this away.
Did you see that?
She was chasing me.
She loves you.
Okay, so I have just a room. I need to have a werewolf man mask somewhere around here. Werewolf man. Here it is. Looks like we've got to paint it.
This chick stepped on the keyboard. Just, how she did. I don't think I should. Okay.
Yeah, pounding golf balls.
I love your work. Can't wait to buy each of your masks.
One of each.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. I've been going through and cleaning and sorting in the back, and I've got over 100 mask molds. That's a lot. I've been getting rid of a few because I don't need 100 mask molds. What camera am I using for my live feed? It's a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 Plus, I think. S8 Plus. It's my phone. It's El Photo. That's what I normally use.
Did you pull another corner board?
I have not yet. I haven't. I will pour one tonight. No, I'll pull one tonight. Maybe we got 3 Gravediggers here.
That's awesome.
They're going to be ready to go soon.
73 people are watching.
73? I better do good work.
Of the haired masks, you already have the hats are done? The
Oh yeah,
collars
hats are done. I got to glue the bands on them, and then I have the jabbing collars. So we'll be sending out 5 or 6 Gravediggers on Monday.
Shell, one's for you, and Plastic Ninja, one is for you. What's the oldest mold you have?
Honey, what was the first year of the Monster Museum?
2005.
I have a mold from 2004. So it's 16 years. No, that's not true. I have the hand molds from the Yeti we did for Creature Quest in 1997. I have the hand molds.
Where are they?
They're back there. They're out there. So this is this paint job is actually very similar to the Gravedigger because this is a werewolf costume. And it's not black and white, but I do a, I don't use a lot of color, but he will have some color on him. I feel like I'm blocking you guys off.
Are you still able to pull from that mold?
Yeah, we've only pulled about 15 or 16 pairs of hands.
Alex says, I was 1 year old.
Alex was 1 year old. All right, Alex isn't allowed to post anymore.
Yeah, go away, Alex. Only old people are here.
Nobody was talking to you. Every time I start my brush from dry brushing, I don't start in the middle of the face. I start back here to see how much is on. And then I can control how much I put on up here in the front. You know, about the 5th or 6th time, you'll get a feel for it, and then you can, you know, be a little crazier by venturing into the middle of the face at first, but not right off the bat. The last thing you want to do is really load this up and obliterate your black. Need to get a few more of these full-size busts. I guess I'll have to make a couple.
Ninja's very excited about getting his mask. Michelle Schulte, very excited that I ordered a wolf, like Alan said, Christmas, when the packages arrive.
Yeah.
Michelle, did you put your wolf in? I'm trying to, I'm so tracking these orders. I cannot believe, sometimes, I guess it all depends on
Where it's going and what's happening.
and what's happening in the world, because some things are, I'm so surprised some people got their stuff today, when we just did that 2 days ago. So I'm really surprised at that.
Like UPS, though, UPS is way behind.
But I'm
Because
super happy
they're,
about it. I was so surprised.
UPS is handling their packages differently. They don't have as many people working, which I understand, but we ship USPS, United States Postal Service.
Michelle, you're in Illinois. You should. Boy, yours should be there soon. Yours went out with everybody else's too.
But not her grave digger.
No. She ordered Hops on Hots and a hat, and she ordered one of your wolf.
Wife knows. Like an open jaw werewolf, like this one.
Is
Oh no, I know which one she ordered. I remember now.
Grateful Head.
Yeah.
Talking about Michelle, I cannot remember.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be there. It should be there. Let's see. I'm expecting that drawing, Alan. That's Plastic Ninja. Wants to know what's that drawing when we get ready for you. Is that my Wolfman? Says Body Geeks. No, I don't think so. I think that was for Puerto Rico. Isn't it?
Yeah, this guy will go to Puerto Rico. Unless you're in Puerto Rico. Who knows?
Do the masks start out from black latex, or are they painted that way?
I paint them black.
I hope to see you at MHC so I can buy a sculpting bust off of you. I'd rather buy off of you than anyone else.
Well, I appreciate that.
The FedEx is behind as well. Do you have any metallic black masks?
I can paint any of them that way. I did one Apocalypse helmet in metallic black, and I thought it looked pretty sweet, if I say so myself. And I'm gonna do one more coat of this light gray. before I add any white to it. I did a little something wrong. I forgot to strap this guy before I started painting him. So I just got to strap him after I paint him. It's no big deal.
Now, Michelle, you are on the way, so you should be there for the fence.
Second coat really pops.
Mr. Charming, I think you are on the wrong channel.
Who's Mr. Charming? Mr. Charming, we don't do that here. You don't want none of this. Yeah. Scott, watch those posts for me, okay? And be prepared to silence that one. Mr. Charming, you may not be aware, you may be new to the channel. We make monsters, but we're kind of wholesome, you know? I don't cuss, I don't drop F-bombs. So I would just appreciate it if calm down. You may be 13 years old. I have no idea.
Here's a question.
But you know, there you go.
Here's a good question. Is latex thick or thick casting?
I use casting latex. I use mask making latex most of the time that I get from Bitty Mold Supply, B-I-T-Y Mold Supply. And I don't use the super thick casting latex. I just use mask making latex. And I find that like liquid latex, the stuff meant for makeup, it's just too thin to give you a good cast. It's got to be a little bit thicker. You want it to be between milk and buttermilk in the bucket. If it's too thick, it won't go down into tight teeth and stuff like that. It's too thick to go into those holes. And if it's too thin, then it takes way too long to build up a coat. So Wolfman has that gray base. I want to add some white to that gray now. Mr. Charming, do you make things? Are you a home haunter? And we don't need to bust his chops too badly. He threw out a little joke grenade and it blew up. That's all.
How would you do a life cast?
I actually have a video on doing life casts. But I don't life cast with algin anymore. I pretty much use silicone, and I use Gel 25 silicone. Again, I get it from Bitty Mold Supply. Because that way you have a silicone cast that you can use over and over and over again, as opposed to an alginate, which you have to get plaster in right away or else it will just... So I tend to use the Gel 25 from Brick in the Yard.
Monster Maker's latex?
Monster Maker's latex is great. RD407, that's fine. Get their RD407 casting latex. They also sell a balloon rubber latex, and they also sell a thixotropic latex for molding. But you want casting latex if you're making masks.
If MHC still happens, I would like to buy a sculpting bust off of you.
Okay, I mean, I'll bring a couple. I tried to bring a couple last year, it didn't work out. And then I had a heck of a time getting Scott his. But they're not the easiest things to ship. So they're not something I'm going to add to the website unless I end up making a bunch of resin ones. And I may add resin sculpting bust to my website at some point, but I will not add the plaster ones. I like the weight of plaster, but it's a nightmare to ship. I mean, you pick it up and it'll rip right through a box is the problem. All right, that's a pretty good base. I'm going to hit it again with an even lighter gray, which is almost white.
Ezekiel says he had a few issues getting his home.
You can, yeah.
Would you recommend sealing mask with Plasti Dip spray adhesive?
I would not. The propellant inside of spray adhesive is going to eat the latex over time. It won't happen right away, but within about a year of any spray adhesive being on it, those spots are going to get sticky and they're going to start to break down a little bit.
What is the average pull per mold?
You're going to get 10 beautiful pulls. Then you will get 10 good pulls. Then you will get 10 pulls. And then you will get 10 bad pulls. And then the pulls are so ugly that they're not worth it. Now, the smoother the sculpture, the less detail there is, the longer that's going to last. I mean, yeah, the longer it's going to last. Something with real fine details and lots of wrinkles, that's going to wear out. It's just going to erode. Just like the Colorado River did to the Grand Canyon, it's going to erode over time.
How much for a plaster armature?
$60 for the half, and a whole head is $120. They are a pain in the butt. And frankly, it's how I have to transport them from where I'm at to shows, increases the cost, because it's basically, it's a piece of ceramic, and I have to treat it accordingly, or else it'll break.
Can I pick up a bust directly from your shop? If so, how much is Brian?
I could do right here at the shop, probably $50. I could do that.
Have you ever teamed up with a sculptor to prop your masks at a convention like Comic-Con?
I am a sculptor, so I don't quite get the gist of your question. Honey, do you want that I'm missing?
I'm not sure. Can you ask? Get teamed up with a sculptor to prop your masks at a convention like Comic-Con?
I sell mostly directly to haunted houses, and I sell at haunted house trade shows. That's what I sell at, and haunted house conventions. I'm a haunted house guy. Most people who go to Comic-Cons and fan expos and those kind of things, they want things that are from movies. And I don't make stuff from movies, really. I normally make original creatures for haunts. Now, a Wolfman is not an original creature, but it is, it's a creature from mythology.
Do you usually do masters for each mold?
No, I don't. I only do masters if I think I'm going to sell a bunch.
Brian wants to buy he said, add one to my order.
We will do it.
I understand the price. I would rather buy from you than another. This is Chad Smith. Rob O'Brien. Could you make sculpting busts with the spray foam gun that you were talking about?
See, I could make them with Loctite foam, but it would be a foam sculpting bust, and there's a lot of wear and tear that happens on it when you remove it from the mold. So it does go through some trials and tribulations when you're taking it out of the mold. And I don't think it would last very long, so I wouldn't feel right selling that to people. This is black.
Body Geeks, were you ordering a full head or a half head?
Body Geeks, are you ordering a full or half head?
Is this for a sculpting bust?
Yeah.
Who wants both?
Okay.
You need to bring a trailer. We're gonna load you up.
I'm waiting for my nose to dry. So I can do another coat of black.
I like that nose.
You do? It's a good doggy nose.
Who are some of your favorite sculpture artists that you admire for their work?
Don Lanning, Andrew Freeman. I love Drew Duchel's work, but he normally sculpts things that I don't really like as much. Like he does a lot of aliens. I'm not a big alien guy. Um, Don Lanning, Andrew Freeman. There's another guy named Anders Lurch. There's a guy named Chris M. There's a lot of really good guys out there.
Brian says, I'm from Texas, I've got a truck. We get you.
Hooray, truck.
Hooray, Texas. Do y'all have any Stiltby Studios stickers? Plastic Ninja? We do. And what do you know? We're going to be sending you something soon.
Yeah, we actually, this channel pop some of those in the...
Heath, don't tell them. You're going to get some surprises. I know who you are. I actually did not know that was you from the order until just now, so... Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell like a
Yeah.
regular name and a YouTube name.
So I had no idea that that was you, but now that I know it's you, we got to put something special in there for you. Hey Alan, I used to watch YouTube Wednesdays religiously. Will you be filming any prop making haunt decor videos this year? Easy laser.
Well, I just released a YouTube Wednesday last week, which was painting a mural inside of a haunted house. So I'd count that as haunt decor. So yes, but yeah, there will be more and more YouTube. YouTube Wednesday is back. I'm committed to doing a year's worth of YouTube Wednesdays. And as soon as this week would be 3 in a row, and when I hit week 4, I am 1% of the way done with a year. Yeah. Wait. No, it's not. No, I'm more than that.
Big Dog says you can care that.
Artist, no math.
I haven't tuned into your channel in a while. I used to wait for It's YouTube Wednesday all the time. I love your channel.
Thank you so much. YouTube Wednesday is back. I just got too busy. I accepted a job as director of a haunted house year-round, and that job, it just kept me very busy. And I did not have time or energy to keep up Stiltby Studios, as well as Dark Hour, as well as YouTube Wednesday. YouTube Wednesday honestly takes about 10 hours a week. 10 hours a week does not seem like a huge commitment, but that's actually a lot of time.
How do you decide how big to make the eye holes?
Often I make them big enough for an eye. But, and that's a ridiculous answer. So here's how it goes. I sculpt on a sculpting bust, which is someone's face, and it has eyes there. And then all that I have to do is imagine that I'm wearing the mask. Put 3 fingers like this. How well can I see down? Not that well. So I then adjust the sculpture so that it goes in towards the eyes, and you get better field of vision that way. So all of my masks, the eye holes are here, but also looking down, looking to the side. I want you to have peripheral vision. I want you to have front vision. So there you go.
What would your dream haunt location be?
Dream haunt location?
Haunt location.
That's a tough question.
That's a good question.
I would probably not do it, like I wouldn't do one in the city, I would do one out in the country. Because I want to do a haunted hayride. I really want to do a good haunted hayride. So it would be set on 150 heavily wooded acres that I had to go in with a bulldozer and stuff and make the paths. Because the thing that'll hurt you the most is having not enough trees and stuff and coverage. So I would really want heavily wooded acreage in order to do this hayride. And I would want the hayride itself to be an hour long, probably 45 minutes, 45 minutes long, that it takes you to get on, do the ride, and then get off. So, yeah, that's my plan, yo. Haunted hayrides are very hard to do because they eat up a lot of people. It takes a lot of actors to do a hayride, whereas you can do a haunt with way less.
Ezekiel says Mickey Rotella, and he's a cool guy too.
Oh yeah, Mikey Rotella. Mikey is awesome.
I really want to sculpt another mask, but having a hard time coming up with something. This is Chad Smith. I want to do something somewhat original, but it seems like real holes to fill.
There are holes to fill.
Chad is always thinking.
How many, what I want you to do is list 20 themes for haunts. And then think of 10 characters for each theme. And then think of which ones you've never seen a mask for. You know? Alright, so that's 2 coats of black on the nose. And I think that's going to be black enough because it's going to dry a little bit darker.
Do you still make those deranged masks, Mad Max style?
I make the apocalypse masks. I used to make deranged masks, which was a fabric mask. And then I switched to making EVA foam, because a lot of people go over making the fabric mask.
Just did a Google search for hair extensions and found a place near me.
Yeah, yeah.
Blind Cook says, that is why I put my name in my YouTube. My dream, if I won the lottery, is to renovate a hotel and turn it into a massive haunt with different interwoven areas.
Yeah, I think the hotel haunt, I think most haunters have had that idea at some point to, yeah, that'd be perfect.
Well guys, it's been a long week of work and I have stayed up too late. As long as I stayed up to watch as long as I could. Well, a good night, stay safe. I'll catch the rest tomorrow. That's Lucky 2001.
Lucky, have a great night. Hopefully I didn't miss you.
Ezekiel says, when I win lotto tonight, I'll talk you into it.
Hooray!
If you're looking for a part-time gig in the country, I have exactly that as far as wooded, but not quite 150 acres, that's 5 feet.
Well,
We did one hayride to get the guests to haunt, but it seemed like we always had bad weather and made tractors get stuck in the mud. We had to cancel that part of the attraction.
yeah, my actual plan is once I get the roads done, make them actual roads. My airbrush is acting crazy again. You now get to watch Alan clean an airbrush.
Dad is excited about his haunt home. I'd like to take an abandoned building with an elevator and experience again the top floor inspired by Dante's Inferno.
Who said that?
And it's Patrick Island.
From where?
Conrad. Oh. I've got these names right now. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I'm trying to keep up with you guys.
Go.
Happening knockdown.
All right, so
Asked a lot of very
funny you should mention that because I actually designed a whole haunted house around Dante's Inferno. I did one once on a very small budget. I did a Dante's Inferno haunted house in '02, honey? Was that '02? In '02. And I have another one designed. I want to buy, they have log flume rides that are for travel, like carnivals and stuff, to have a log flume ride. And I wanted to buy the log flume ride and put it inside of a metal building and extend it a little bit, just on the low areas, extend it a bit, and do a Dante's Inferno themed log flume ride haunted house. That would go on the same property as my hayride. They wouldn't go up to like year 3. Oh, there you go.
Still love the deranged masks. I was sad I missed out on them.
You know what? They might come back. Everything kind of has phases, and I may do a few. I might do a few retro-wise. I might do like one shelf's worth for Trans World or something.
There's a lot of multi-floor fonts that go upwards and make you jump in a big balloon pad.
There are a lot of fonts that...
There's a lot of multi-floor fonts that go upwards and make you jump into a big balloon pad.
I hate to say this, I don't think that's true. Like, I know of lots of haunted houses. I know of lots of haunted houses, and I don't know of one that does that. Go ahead, wife.
You done?
I'm done.
There's at least used to be a lot.
I have never heard of one. No, I don't know everything.
Can't imagine that when I did.
That's true. But if you could name one, that would be awesome.
A plague doctor as a stock mask.
Because if they can get insurance, I bet I could get insurance from that same company.
Atlanta and Colorado had them off the top of my head. You know what the names are?
Have you been there? Have you been there?
Because that is I'd very much like to know how they pull that off.
Yeah.
What are the names of the shows? Okay, can you do a plague doctor as a sock mask?
You can, absolutely. Sure.
Good night, big dog. He's heading to bed.
Good night, big dog.
Speedrun Production says, wow, I wasn't even born yet. I don't know where.
Was that in 2002?
2002. I know you are young. Big Duck says there's one here in Kansas. What's the name of the big in which they jump from a story in
You jump into a giant balloon.
a giant balloon pad?
You land on a balloon.
To know about this.
Yeah.
It's still open. I think it's called the Beast. The Beast is the slide.
The Beast has a slide. They do not have a jump down that I know of.
You know about the Beast.
Yeah, I know about the Beast.
My husband made a platform on the boat trailer and pulled the grandkids around on our decorated trails. They loved it. We had fun scaring them.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Plastic says 13 floors of terror, I think.
No, they don't.
Seems like a huge liability lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, big time.
The Beast has a slide. What did they jump in? I remember the buzz around it in 2012. It's like the rescue balloons they use for suicide jumping. Absolutely. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But that.
Let me Google this. I never went to it. Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
That's,
you've been had.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of like, isn't that like the hoax of the one where you go, you know, if you make it out, you get your money back, or
Yeah,
whatever it is,
it's a myth.
which has never existed.
No.
I think they made an inflatable crash pad on the balloon. Yes, Habit Mojo. I know exactly what you're talking about, but there is To our knowledge, there is not a haunt that does that professionally. Because my God, that would be incredible liability. I see pallets being used in haunts everywhere, but those seem like a big liability to me as well. Right.
They are.
They are.
They are for loose nails. They are for splinters. They are for
Fire.
well, somewhat of a fire hazard, and a little more than normal wood because they're so dry.
In Illinois, one of the questions on our insurance asks about slide, and if you have one, the premium goes up a bunch. I couldn't imagine the cost of insurance if your papers jump off the top floor on a trip app.
Yeah, that's why that doesn't happen.
Big Dog says there's a 3 haunt here. I watched them jump into a stuntman airbag. I'll get the information.
Yes, 3 Haunts was on a tour a while back near Houston, and they got so many complaints for a lot of the unsafe stuff that they did. Like they have a raft that goes over a lake, and fire blast happens right near people. They're very much not. I don't think they have insurance. Is it possible that someone is doing it? Yes. Is it a good idea? No. Please don't ever do that in your haunted house.
The pallets can be made safe though. Take out the nails and don't burn them.
Well, you're not the one burning them. It would not be on purpose. It would be an accidental fire. They're dried out. They're a little older, and they're tinder basically, and not the good kind of tinder.
Back in the day, amusement park near me had an old scrambler ride in a brick building that was painted black, UV paint splashed on the walls, also tons of mirrors and black lights. Maybe performers jumped onto a crash pad, not customers.
Maybe. Yeah, that's much more likely. Yeah, we've had high falls at our show in Dark Alley. We used to have high falls at Dark Alley. So yes, that is likely. But having guests do it, no.
What's the place that is an old concrete factory? They have some stuff, but nothing like jumping off the building.
Well, they kind of do. They have zip lines and stuff. I spoke with them today. Spencer, and he is in, I think his fault was in like Moab or something like that. I was talking to him today, dang it.
What about flame cannons set on top of a building, castle turret, or off out into the woods away from the people?
Lots of haunts do that. That's in the realm of perfectly fine. More liability than no flame cannons, but I think that is controllable. And we use pyro at Dark Hour. We use it inside of the show, but that's all cleared through the fire marshal. Okay, so now, what's that?
Night, everyone is getting late here in PA. Jason Ben.
Good night, Jason.
Good night.
Almost done cleaning out the old airbrush.
Alan, Fear Factory in Salt Lake City.
That's them. Yeah, that's them.
Hello, Meister, okay?
He is on the, there's a Haunted Attraction Association, and he and I are both board members. Really good people, too.
This place looks amazing.
It does look amazing.
Now, we need to get together that.
Maybe tomorrow I just really clean my airbrush. But now we're cooking with gas. I always want to like do the shot where I like shoot the camera with the airbrush, but then I could do that once.
Cooking on naphtha.
I'm painting stuff here that I know I'm just going to cover up, you know.
What kind of airbrush could I use to spray a two-part resin? I assume a normal paint airbrush would get clogged quickly. How about a HVLP sprayer?
You could. I mean, if you get close to where it kicks, then, I mean, know your working time and be able to switch out that pot and run a cleaner through it before. But yeah, you could use an HVLP sprayer. Okay, so that is the painted Wolfman.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to go there to Fear Factor. I'm not sure I can handle all the stairs though.
They do have a lot of stairs.
What has been your most famous mask or creation?
Probably the Hunchback that I just did. I'm very happy with the Hunchback and how he looks and how he works. He's going to be a lot of fun to debut.
Put some glass in front of the camera and then spray it. We bought porcelain teeth and the sculpture for plaster molding. Will they come out okay?
Read that one more time for me.
Can you use these bought porcelain teeth and sculpture for plaster molding? Will
No, take them out before you mold.
that is just
Because teeth are not tapered. They're all these different shapes, and your plaster's going to go around them and grab onto it. So I would take them out before you mold it and glue them back in.
I know you don't watch a lot of TV, but have you seen the Arts Mortis documentary on it? If so, what were your thoughts?
I haven't seen it yet on Amazon. But I know them and I like them.
Awesome people.
Yeah, they're all good people.
Unless you are a historical building, is it a requirement to be ADA compliant?
Yes, it is a requirement. Most people don't do it. And most people who say that they're ADA compliant lie. You have to have 42-inch wide hallways. Every ramp in your building has to be 1 foot of ramp per 1 inch of lift or drop. So, you know, going up 1 foot means you need a 12-foot ramp. That's something we fight with all the time at dark hour because we are ADA compliant. That doesn't mean that every square inch of our property is ADA compliant. We have a vortex tunnel, and there's stairs to get up that and stairs to get down it. But as that's a unit purchase from somebody else, I did it.
What is your greatest fear?
What is my greatest fear? Wow. I don't have a lot of fears. I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't dwell on sadness. I don't get upset a lot or long. If I need money, I'll make a Yeti. I mean, I don't have one. I just don't. But I'm a remarkably positive guy. There are things that would suck. But I'm not afraid they're going to happen. Either they happen or they don't. If it happens, it sucks. And then I deal with it. Yeah. Sorry. That's not a good answer. I don't have a great fear. I'm reasonably afraid of sharks, but I'm not like worried about a shark in this room. You know, I'm much more concerned about sharks when I'm more than waist deep in the ocean. Then sharks are higher on the priority list. But I think that's a reasonable fear of sharks. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the donation.
Grinning Tiki. Tiki, you know what? I'm making a Tiki mask very soon. I think when I was director at Scream's Halloween Park, we had a character at the end of the pirate house that was called the Tiki God. And it was a real tall mask. What was cool about it is that when you move your head like this, you know, the whole mask moved. So it's this whole great level of other dynamic motion that you got out of the mask. It was really cool. So you'll see a Tiki God in my future. What was I doing? Okay.
I would love to build a vortex con. So tricky. How close will Hot Con be to Dark Hour? I know Texas is huge.
Very close. We're talking 30 minutes away.
Yeah, it must be wrong. It must have been an urban legend that God spread around, that plastic ninja about the...
Yeah, that happens.
There are many of those that got spread around. Yeah. The minute you said that, we were like, where's...
Yeah, well...
Yeah, you know, where is that? I thought the width was 36 inches. 42 is news to me.
No. 36 is not ADA compliant. 36 is a doorway. In order, every doorway in your haunt has to be at least 36 inches. 42 inches is a hallway width. That's ADA compliance.
So I plan on being fully ADA compliant or have an alternate path and it can't be helped.
You know what? That's something that we ought to do in the Haunt Association is ADA compliance for dummies. Because reading through the whole ADA compliance book, it's ridiculous. And you have to hunt and pick through it to find what applies to us. So, yeah, that might be a project for me to do. Yeah, necessary.
I fear chick flicks.
I don't fear chick flicks, I just avoid them.
They say hello, Rodney Coat, hello, Edie.
Wife, how are you feeling? Do you feel strong and fortified? It is 10:30.
We're good.
Okay.
I make a quick run to the house and get a drink.
Okay. If you do that, I'll have you grab me a water.
Yeah, be here.
Okay. But first, before you do that, you got to tell a quick story.
Do you guys make kid costumes that could be custom? You can make any kid costumes.
We don't make them right now, but if it's custom, we could just make one. What do you want? Wife, you got to tell a quick story. I have to go get fur. I got to switch gears a little bit, and I have to fur the Wolfman mask for Puerto Rico.
Okay. Continuing our series of ways Alan and Shannon almost died. In 2004, it was weeks before Alan and I got married, because we were engaged for a very short time. And haunt season was coming up, and so I'm newly engaged, and...
You wanted to snag me before I came to my senses.
Alan put me in the show. And we had a zombie paintball or a monster paintball show along with the haunted house that he put me in one of the trailers as the moderator and greeting the person who kept the show going and what have you. And it was a very rainy season, and it had, I mean, you couldn't win in 2004 because of the rain. And the trailer that I'm in is coming down a hill that finally was just so much rain became slick, and the trailer that's the trailer that is being pulled with. I'm in the trailer with about 30 people, wrapping up, heading back to drop them off and pick up more. The truck begins to slide, the trailer begins to slide and jackknife, and I'm in it.
Jackknifing, sliding sideways.
Sliding sideways down a hill, and he's watching me go slowly to my death. And I'm thinking, we're not going to get married because you will have killed me before we got married. This same night, besides, I did survive the trailer slide jackknife, and then jumped right back in the next trailer and because the show must go on. And the same night, it rained and stormed so hard that they actually, because it's an entire outdoor show that he was doing, the entire show had to shut down. And Alan, and this is very good for those of you body geeks and others who are contemplating doing a haunted house. This was the night I saw Alan almost die, because I thought, we're never going to get married because we're both going to die tonight. Because they had to shut down the show. And in doing so, there was an entire corral of people waiting in line. Several hundred who became intensely angry and started chanting, "Money back, money back, money back." And I'm going to let you tell how you got out of that, because that was, well, this is a good lesson for how you handled that. Because really, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to get you. You got out of it, but it worked out. But still, it was, you had to get in the middle of it and talk to them.
It's intimidating to walk into a crowd of angry people.
Angry people.
And I had on the Haunts T-shirt, you know, and they're all chanting and yelling and
money back, money back.
And you know, we had to shut down the ride. Like, they just saw the trailer jackknife and slide down the hill. So I think if I said, okay, everybody get on, I don't know if they would have gotten on, but it was very easy for them to be angry about us shutting it down, so they were.
Can you bless?
Oh yeah. Flavored water, please.
Can you explain to them what you do?
So
Because we almost died.
I went down there and I got in the middle of them, and I have a very loud voice when I need to project and when I need to announce things. So I was able to get them to hear me. I was able to get them to hear me, and I was able to, you know, project over out. And then they stopped to listen because they realized that I could help them. You know, I was there to help. And what happened was, it was like 11:40 that we had to close, and the ticket booth always shut down. Like at midnight, they left the ticket booth, left with the money, dropped it off, and those people didn't come back. So everybody's money who wanted their money back, it wasn't even on site anymore. It's gone. So I had to, what I did was I set up, we gave them tickets, because this was the last night or next to last night of the season. And we gave them tickets to come back next year. So for every one person they had paid for, they got 2 tickets to come back the next year. So if they had bought 4 tickets, they got 8. And I was able to get a nice orderly line and make that happen. Some people were able to come back the next night. Most of them had to get the tickets for next year. So, but it worked out. You know, you talk to people. Yeah, these are sweet camo pants. It's my favorite camo pattern. It is the tiger stripe camo pattern. You know you're a redneck if you have a favorite camo pattern. I just like the look of that. Can you do a rub out with mask paint? You can, but you have to be careful because your underpainting is also mask paint. If you're doing it for the first time and you're doing like a black or a brown on the raw latex itself, no problem, you can do that. Federal requirements. Let me look and see if I missed one. ADA is the same everywhere. ADA does not change. Building compliance codes, building codes, they do change from state to state, county to county, city to city. They change, but ADA does not change. You can meet ADA and not meet the city building code. That's possible. I'm trying to get this cleared up so I can cut me some fur. Ahead and shoot at this half of the room. I think I can pretty quickly get this mask haired and done and on its way to beautiful sunny Puerto Rico. My pattern, I'm going to need that. Again, I'm only cleaning this table by cluttering up some other table. That's how I roll. I'm glad the light was down. I want to get this guy done. I might be very close to where those masks are going to be taken off too. I got to hit this with a paper towel because I had paint on here. This spray bottle is 99% alcohol. I've always used it to clean stuff off, but especially now with the COVID, it's really good to have a lot of 99% alcohol in here. Favorite room in someone else's haunted house? Pretty much pick up in Netherworld. And that's one of my favorites. There's also a haunted house called 13th Gate in Louisiana. 13th Gate has some beautiful sets and pieces in it. Hell's Gate Haunted House in Chicago has the best entry and opening room that I've ever seen, involving the twins. That is a beautiful haunted house and beautiful set. It's just well done. It's a great story. I'm constantly inspired by other people's haunted houses. Okay. Hello, Richard Graffy McGrath. Thank you for watching. So I have a favorite movie with practical effects that inspires my work. So many. I mentioned Pumpkinhead a lot. I mean, Pumpkinhead is a beautiful movie with just, a great suited monster. I loves it. Okay, I gotta make sure the hair is going the right way. The hair goes down. Good. Nice distortions puppet. Where's the distortions puppet? I'm sorry. Oh, the Greeley Gremlin up there. Yes, yeah, that is a fun little guy. You're right. Yes, these toolboxes are from Home Depot, but they're the $2 to $198 Huskies. But I've replaced the tops on them so that the top overhangs, and that way I can clamp on the clamps so I can use my masks. What is the biggest rule-breaking problem you've seen in another haunt? Rule breaking. You know what? One of the great things about haunts is there are no rules. You can do whatever you want. But haunts go smoother if you follow a couple of rules. So rule in the sense of safety, I've been through a couple haunts that have plastic over their ceiling. And they do that to make it darker, but they put plastic over the ceiling, and it's so unsafe. If anything, if there is a fire, then what happens is that keeps the smoke in, and that smoke being kept in, more people die. But also, if they don't die from smoke in, the melted plastic falls on them and sticks to them like napalm, destroying their skin. So if they do live, they look like, a burn victim for the rest of their life. Because a haunted house chinsed out. And that's not what I want. Okay. What's the worst thing you've seen aside from someone getting hurt? I just mentioned that. That is the plastic ceiling, the plastic over the roof. That's a big danger. That's a big no-no. Do I ever use FW inks on latex ever? Yes. Hello, Horror Beauty. Normally I use Pinata inks, but they're the same thing, basically, just from a different company. I used to use FWs exclusively, but I just like the Pinatas better. They're easier to get a hold of. They're a little cheaper. So I normally go with Pinata over FW ink. Yes, 13th Gate, and Wellness Night, they are great. They're very good shows. I have used plants in haunts before. Once you get to a certain size, you really can't. It's just not effective. So when I was a smaller haunter and worked at shows with less throughput, yes, I have done that. But I haven't done it in a few years because I've just been working at bigger shows.
Okay. You told the story about how you got us out of dying.
Yes.
I'm not sure where did you answer. Doesn't ADA compliant change per state?
I think I'm caught up.
Okay, great. Your camera pajamas.
Yeah, you were hit by a broom that fell over. Oh, my beverage. I found it.
Red Key is the worst thing you've seen. 13 Gates is only filmed. We have plans to do that one. Hello, Horror Beauty. Okay.
I did a good job while I was cleaning the table and looking at comments.
You did. You did great. Hey, got a thumbs down. There you go.
I knew we'd get a thumbs down eventually.
Hey.
We just had to apply ourselves.
Yeah. What are the stencils for?
These are patterns. this pattern is for the hair on the Wolfman mask. This is fur that I've got here, and this fur I'm going to use to make it a Wolfman.
What are you making?
This will be the fur cowl that goes onto the Wolfman mask. Tomorrow is Saturday. Off work. Yes. I'm just kidding. That's quarantine. It's the same as every other day. Non-essential. I do have a fur direction on my patterns. Every piece of this, see those arrows? That's the way the fur direction is supposed to go. Every single piece, because you can really mess up by putting the wrong fur direction on. See that? See those arrows? That's the way the fur points. Same is true on this much more complicated piece. And that's why it's actually cut up in several pieces. You can't just use it. You can't just, you know, throw it down on the fur. It has to go the right direction. It will not look right. So we're about to cut out the fur for this Wolfman.
Question for Shannon. Do you make anything or have you ever tried to sculpt? Chad, I sculpted simply because the majority of the time I'm handling something else. I make a lot of things. As far as making the masks, I have not done that. Notoriously, I am, we have Monster Camp. I am covered up feeding and tending to everyone. In the haunted house, I'm doing other jobs, including acting and managing. And then it's kind of like a split of a division of labor. Alan's making the masks and such, and I'm shipping them.
She handles the shipping, she handles the packaging.
I'm doing the non-sexy work.
Yeah.
I have no doubt at some point I will do this, but at this point right now, it's because
And she has jumped in and helped with.
just the two of us.
She has jumped in and she's helped with hair work and that kind of stuff.
And painting and such, yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't sat down and done it simply because it's just Alan and I, mostly. So we have awesome help, but you know, as far as the business part of it, it's just the two of us. So he does one and I do the other because he does not even remotely want to do the paperwork part, and he's better at sculpting. But I think one day I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
You have a nap direction. Yes, you got that. You are essential to us. Keep us entertained and motivated. Hey, Alan, have you ever made a silicone mermaid tail, or how to have a clue how to put one together?
Yes, I have. Most of them are actually made flat with good measurements, just like I kind of made my Fishman monster parts. You make them flat, and then, you know, yeah, and then you mold it.
Lawrence Talbot wishes his fur looked that good. Would love to see a tutorial on making the patterns sometime. That's a good idea.
I've done them. If you look at my Krampus playlist, I actually show you 100% how to make those patterns. So look at my Krampus playlist.
Oh, Ezekiel. The chances are good if I'll end up feeding you while you work. My job is to keep you alive. That was a good pulled pork. Who makes the Krampus tree ornaments? Is that
Jeremy O'Neill Effects. But also, Horror Ornaments have one too.
that would be a good video on how to make patterns.
You all falled.
I hope that didn't come across as presuming you don't do anything. No, you did not come across that way.
Yeah.
I do craft a lot of things. I make a lot of things as far, but not. I have not done this mask part as far as the sculpting and plastering. It did not come across that way at all. I actually get asked that a lot, but I have no doubt it will happen one day. Maybe after I retire and we slow down a bit. I don't know. It'll happen. Who knows?
Or maybe I will have like a piano fall and break both of my hands, and I'll be driven very close to madness.
This is the worst story.
And in order to keep me from going insane, I describe the monsters to you and you sculpt them for me.
Maybe not. Okay. So happy Easter to you, Mark.
Just saying. Happy Easter.
Hi. What time it is over there? It's 4:55 here. I got up early to watch the show. Where are you, Richard?
Holy moly. UK, I bet.
It is 10. It's almost 11 o'clock at night here.
Yeah.
Good night, Brian. Do haunts ever get hassled for using licensed characters?
Yes.
Companies are so litigious about IP, but hockey masks are everywhere. So where's the line? Public domain is now getting choked due to Disney.
Boy. Okay. There's a sentence there that's really weird to me, but in general, if you didn't create it, don't use advertise your haunted house. No haunted house should have Jason on their poster or on their online ads because they did not make that character up. Now, if you're going through the haunted house and you happen to see Jason, that's cool. That's like a nod. But you should not be getting money based off of the popularity of someone else's character. The haunted houses that use the leprechaun image from the movie without a license in order to get customers for their St. Patrick's Day haunted house, that is theft. They are stealing the intellectual property of that character, and they're stealing the money that the movie company put into promoting that character to promote their haunted house. That is theft. Hands down, easy peasy, clean. Now, having the character in the haunt, you are not profiting really by having their character in your haunt, unless you are advertising that their character is there. And where it gets tricky with Disney, a lot of birthday performers are saying, you can have the girl Matilda from Frozen come to your child's birthday party. Well, they're not Disney sanctioned. Again, they're stealing the character to get business. They didn't make up that character, and no kid wants them at their birthday party. They want Matilda from Frozen. I don't know any of the actual names from the people in Frozen. Isn't one named Ilsa? So I thought that was funny because there's Ilsa, the she-wolf of Siberia. But anyway, public domain is a different thing altogether. That's just a different animal than intellectual property infringement.
They still want me to do ghost sculpting for you if you lose use of your hands.
Okay, cool.
Ruined hands plot of House of Plants. Copyright infringement. Yes, correct. Anna and Elsa. Oh God, Frozen. Daughters will drive you crazy with that.
I ain't got none. Ha ha!
Good night, Speed Run Productions.
Good night, Speed Run. Mr. I wasn't born in 2002.
I had that twice tonight. Once from Tim and once from Alex. I
Yes.
just won. Okay, Alex. Go to bed.
So again, this fur is going to be the Wolfman mask. This is going to be a cowl on the Wolfman mask. And the cutter that I'm using is this Roberts cutter, carpet cutter, with Persona razor blades in it. Best for cutting fur. I don't know if you guys see how easy this is going for me, but literally I just run it along there and then it's off. Woohoo! Find good hair work exciting. Okay, these are pieces.
Let it go, Alan, let it go. I want to use Cthulhu, and that's a public domain character, but I see companies trying to trademark hexagon dice holders, and Disney won't let Steamboat Mickey into public domain, even though it should.
Well, they just renew the license. The reason why public domain happens, something only falls into public domain if someone isn't using the property. Disney continually plays Steamboat Willie on their channel. They continually put him on T-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and stuff. So they use that character. It's their character. Instead of sitting like a vulture waiting for something to fall in public domain, make something awesome. Don't rely on what they've already done. Make something awesome. Okay.
UK guys, love the show. Richard,
Oh, thank you so much.
you did get up early. My brother gave me latex as a gift, but it's the wrong kind. Any cool ideas on what I can do with mold making latex?
Yeah, you can actually thin it with distilled water or ammonia, and then it's mask making latex. It's the same stuff, it's just thicker.
One quick question before I leave. Did y'all get my email? Yes, I got it today, and I don't think Alan's had a chance to see it yet, but we will get you an answer, speedrun.
So let me explain something, okay? Right now, this is not a complaint at all, but right now I am getting hundreds of messages, personal messages, emails. We're getting Instagram messages, all kinds of stuff. Because people are home and people are making things, and that's awesome. But I'm getting September level questions. So I may not get back to you right away, but I will get back to you. And every now and then I know, like, I saw this question, but I don't know which format it was on, and now I can't find it. Every now and then that happens. I hate that, but sometimes it does. There's a lot going on in the world.
But I got you, speedrun.
But she found that one,
I got you on the
so
radar.
she says you're good.
I have got you on radar. I'm about to have a granddaughter, and I'm pushing to be called Grumpus.
Grumpus!
That's awesome.
That's great. I will call you Grumpus.
That is
Absolutely could hot glue this together. Hot glue works very well for fur because it grabs all the fibers and it really stays in there. But it's a little stronger if you sew it. It's not stronger if you sew it. It's more professional looking if you sew it. It's just for me. Sometimes I'll hot glue it. But sometimes you got to sew. And this is literally like a 10-minute sew job.
Oh, Ross.
What did Ross say?
So it begins.
Oh, that was a bad one. Minus 10 points from Hufflepuff. I actually really enjoy sewing. It's very cool to me because you take something that's 2D and you turn it into something 3D. Very neat to me.
I'm making a Friday the 13th table.
What is a Friday the 13th table like? What does that mean? I don't know of a specific table from the movie, but it's quite possible you're a bigger fan than me.
A table with a Friday the 13th inlay is what they're wondering.
Cool. Neat. What are we tearing up over there, wife?
She's cheering on a bag.
Definitely hear the dogs destroying something. Bet it's expensive. Sounds like Ross is leaving. Good night, Ross. Almost sewed that to the wrong bit. That would have been catastrophic. Or at least bad. How many of you guys sew? Highly recommended. Learning to sew better. I mean, it's a great skill. It's needed. It is.
Learning to sew better. He said Ezekiel.
This one's a little bit misaligned. I guess I cut it weird. Or didn't trim it all the way. Trim it now.
I make costumes, says Rob O'Brien.
Cool.
But you can just picture like Jason, but behind a piece of glass and wood puncture like a case, but it's gonna look awesome once I get it done with it. You can check it out on the channel. So this is the
Like a Friday the 13th type shadow box.
What kind of stitch do you use on your costumes?
This is Normally on these guys, just a straight stitch.
Luck is sewing a mask for my mom to wear to work right now. So Kenny's sewing. My sewing machine has trouble with fur.
A lot of sewing machines have trouble with fur. It just happens.
Mom's awesome at it. She's been teaching me some stuff on the list of purchases. My wife and I both sew, and we use the same machine.
Cool.
I heard you sewing and thought it was funny. That's Connie. I can put pieces together, not that even, but they work.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the clothes I make, they have to look like a monster made it, so that's fine. You get a little bit of leeway when most of your work is monster work. Love this Roberts cutter. He's the best. And now it's time for a Wolfman. Never gonna get another one again. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think they down in the actual song.
They make a special needle, foot and needle for fur. It makes it a little bit easier.
They do?
Trim the fur out of the seam allowance will make it so easier too. Horror Beauty was there and was talking about foot and needle for fur.
I just power through it, man. I have a Singer heavy duty. That's what I use. I've owned 3 of them. Now I've killed 3 of them. But I love them. We have to elastic strap this mask.
Good night, Edie.
Brr. I wanted to see elastic strapping yesterday, and I didn't get to it, but I have some to do right now.
Singer too, they are good. Yeah, they make a special feet for slippery materials and needles. Is there a specific blade you use, or are they all the same?
It's Persona. There's 2 types of Persona blades.
Sorry, Persona blades. Sorry.
One is, I'm sorry. One is for, and the other is for carpet. In that holder, you use the one for carpet. And it seems to hold an edge better than the one for hair.
She over by the book.
What's that?
She over by the book.
They're sitting right here. Hey, no, don't do that. Don't eat that. No.
I see people make the Friday table on Google, and you can look it up as type of Friday the 13th table, and I'll show you a whole bunch.
Cool.
Chad says, I need to make a straight jacket. I think I'm going to fake it with a backward shirt and belt.
That works.
It's okay, Ezekiel. No problem.
I'm cutting these straps at 9 inches. No. Bella, no. You cannot bite the fur. I have to pick up the roll of fur from the ground. Guys, I'm sorry. I know you love fur on the ground, but nay nay. Oh, unusual. You see this? They're fighting me. They want this fur. Okay. Oh, all right. Better. Sorry. When the soldering iron is hot, I just touch the ends of the elastic to it to make that nylon seal up and not fray anymore. Using the soldering iron to burn a hole into the elastic. Again, the burning cauterizes it. I'm making a small hole. It's not the size of your hole, it's the secureness of your rivet. Go. And I know where I want these to go on here. I want to go just above the eye. Oop. And just below the eye. Just above the eye. Just below the eye.
Is there any feature or attraction that you were disappointed by, whether size or guest reaction, and the reverse of that, surprised by?
At a haunted house, or is that at a haunted house? Okay. That you can play with. Bella wants some pettings. Surprise, she always wants pettings.
Because I was thinking haunt, yes, but also wondering about a tool for making, got another half of the question coming. So, the question was, yes, haunt. Is there any feature or attraction in a haunt you were disappointed by, whether size or guest reaction, and reverse of that, surprised by?
The first time that I saw a laser swamp in a haunted house, it was at, I think, Necropolis Haunted House, which was on the Columbia Haunt Tour, which was at MHC, Midwest Haunters Convention. And I was blown away by the laser swamp. What year was that, baby?
Gosh, that was 8 or 9. Well, it was before we started vending. We vended. Before we started vending. Maybe 6, 7. that's when we came home at like 3, got back at like 3 in the morning.
So Shannon thinks it was 2006.
6 or 7. But yeah. You said Acropolis, I think of Louisiana.
I was very impressed by that effect. Now, unimpressed? It's hard to get a good moving elevator, a good fake elevator. Often they seem very the same from show to show. So a good elevator is hard to find, and often I'm disappointed by a haunted house's elevator that I get into. Or elevator, as they call it. And I've also had some vortex tunnels. Like at Dark Hour, we try a new vortex skin for a couple of years there. We would do one every show, and some vortex skins just don't grab you like they should. They don't cause that. The term is not dementia, disorientation. They don't cause the disorientation that they ought to.
Vertigo?
Yeah, they don't cause the vertigo like they should. Okay, here we go. It's our last rivet. Once the rivet is on, then we can glue on the fur. Once this is on, I have to try it. I feel that weird on my eye a little bit, so I want to check that and trim that a little.
Do you ever use Chicago screws for the straps?
No, because Chicago screws just don't come thin enough. I like Chicago screws. I use them on leather work and belts and things, but they're just not thin enough for a latex mask. Even a small Chicago screw is, we have like a 1/4 inch, and we're not dealing with a 1/4 of an inch here. Okay. Way better on my eye. Feels good, yo. Okay. Now I can put it on this version of Allen.
About tools or things for making stuff. I was disappointed by my first 3D printer and surprised by my first monster print.
I've never owned a 3D printer, so you know what? This guy I am going to do that head correction on.
The mask looks good with the beard.
Yeah, that's this mask was designed for that. So tools. Definitely the Persona razor blades are awesome. They're just better than any other kind of blade I've ever had or used. They're just way better. The Harbor Freight dual action airbrush is also a positive surprise. That's an amazing airbrush for the money, $10. The Harbor Freight $16 purple HVLP sprayer, amazing value for the money. The Harbor Freight 1/6 or 1/5 horsepower air compressor for airbrushes, garbage. So I was kind of shocked with those. I thought they'd be a little better, but they actually die every now and then. So there you go.
I love to see you make your own Friday the 13th table. Or if you don't like that, maybe something horror themed style that you can.
A table might be in the works. Did you see the witch cabinet that I made a while back on YouTube Wednesday? It was a witch cabinet, I guess is what I called it. That was me making furniture for YouTube Wednesday. And I may make a throne for YouTube Wednesday. I want a nice Krampus throne. I think I have to make it. Okay. There we go. Now that crown of that head doesn't sit so high, and they won't need foam in there. I put on I'm going to do a test dry fit.
You still use the post foam from Home Depot or switched back to barrels?
Switch back to what?
Barrels.
I use the post foam for some things. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's going to fit very nicely. Wonderful. I then peel it back. So yeah, I use the post foam for a lot of stuff. I don't use it for everything. Different foams have different uses, and that is a good foam that's locally available. It's good for mask filling. It's good for making horns. It's good for a lot of things. But there's some things that other types of foam is better at. Sorry, I wanted a fresh brush. The hard brush is fine on the mask, but I want a fresh brush on the fabric. Saw someone said something about Quick Trip.
Just,
Full disclosure, this Quick Trip cup is probably over a month old. I like drinking out of a big plastic cup. So I saved them, and that's like the 5th one of those I've had today. Some people like those little Yeti tumblers. I like a big plastic 44-ounce cup. America. I want to make sure I go out to the very edge on this. That is where the bond is going to be the most important. I want to go all the way out to the very bottom. And Bella agrees with me. That's why she is singing the praises of contact cement.
Which chain?
Right here.
Poor pup.
Cheney, how you doing, buddy? I got a tail wag. I got a tail wag.
Little girl.
Okay. I'm going to open up this door. We have a spot.
Hello. Being hot.
Fumes. I don't want you to get fumed out or the puppies. The scary thing is the fumes really no longer bother me, but I might look over and I'll see my wife with her jacket up and stuff, so. Then I know I should open the door. I love making monsters. And the amount of different things that go into making monsters, I think is what makes it really cool for me. I have to be okay at sculpting to get a good sculpt worthy to mold. I have to be okay at molding for the mold to turn out. I then have to be okay at pouring because there's a science to it. At pour, you'll get bubbles, you'll get big gaps, you know? So all of it, every step needs some bit of tips, tricks, expert knowledge.
Loctite says, heard we were sewing together.
Yeah, you were sewing, I was sewing, it was a party.
I want to build out a 1-meter box frame from either electric conduit or PVC pipe and fill it with expanding foam for rigidity. Any tips? I've never used rigid expanding foam.
A 3-foot by 3-foot box. My question to you is why not just carve it out of a block of like styrofoam? That much expanding foam, A, is going to be very, very expensive. B, it's probably going to blow out your structure. Far better to build a plywood box, line it with plastic, and then pour your foam into that. Because you can really screw that together and, really get it firm. Since I don't know the purpose of this, I have a hard time giving you too much advice on it. But expanding foam is great, but I don't know why you would want to just fill a meter cube with it. When you could just get a meter cube of expanded poly. Looking up EPS manufacturers in your area. EPS standing for expanded polystyrene. It's used all the time in the construction industry and the packaging industry. Yes, in comes the mosquitoes, but they die as soon as they hit the contact cement fumes. Probably should tell us something.
Fill inside the conduit or PVC pipes, making an illusion.
Inside of the pipe. Okay, I got you. I don't know that that would add too much rigidity. It would do you better to use like a resin and pour the resin just into the joints, and because that's going to grab onto the pipes really well. The foam would not help with strength much, but you could do the same thing. I don't think it would get you where you want to go. Makes much more sense that I know you're filling inside of tubes, not just inside of the cube that you made.
Filled with sand.
Which was the first head that I haired? Do you know? Was it? I think it was the big head. I think it was the Ron Perlman. Because while I'm waiting on this, Alexa, count down 10 minutes. I'm going to go that mask.
Starting now.
I'm going to pull that mask off of the, the other thing.
This is like a polyester resin.
Yeah, like a polyester resin.
Rob O'Brien says medium. The first one you said was further back on the forehead.
Right, so if Ron Perlman was judging, and I know I did the green one last, and this is the one that I did first.
Ron Perlman was judging Michael.
We have a mask with fabulous hair. He's got the look, the grave digger look. Okay, and I will, I'll tease this a little bit, but there's your hair. Done. That means this one was second.
Picked up some good tips watching you guys. I started making horror masks about 4 months ago. This is Richard in the UK.
Awesome. I would love to see some pictures of your work. You could email them to me at stiltbestudios@gmail.com. Long, beautiful hair. Okay. There we go.
Sing a tune. Zombie wrestler. You look good. He looks friendly. How will that attach to the masks?
The same way that hats fit onto people. You will, let me get this on. I'll grab a hat. Both. What you're normally thinking of is hats, like a normal person hat on a mask, does not work because it's just too small. These fit, they work, they're not going to fall off my head, they're fine.
How do you determine if you're going to use head socks or just straps?
Depends on what the need is.
I learned how to sew just to make a Grim Reaper costume for tall stilts.
Nice.
Zombie Abraham Lincoln.
Kinda.
Said it's cute.
Whatever you're into.
Yeah, that is on there. Good.
Yeah, you just have to make it the right size. Normally it's really hard to keep a hat on a mask, but I made the hats to fit over both.
I don't know if I missed it, but I know you were doing a countdown on Facebook and Instagram. What did you debut, or has it not happened yet?
It was YouTube Wednesday. YouTube Wednesday happened again. We haven't done YouTube Wednesday in a long time,
Years.
and now it's back.
It's been about 7 years.
Oh, it hasn't been 7 years.
Well, you were at Dark Hour for 7 years. That's about the time to stop doing it.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Hey, Jonesy, I didn't even know you were in here, bud.
Jones.
Bones Jones.
Charles Dickens' Chimney Sweep Corpse.
Okay, I'm pretty close on this. This is ready. This I want to dry a little bit more. I'm going to wait for that honest 10 minutes to happen. Wife, as soon as I get the hair on this Wolfman, let's call it a night.
We're almost at midnight.
So I'm looking at what's done and what's ready.
Jones.
Get this out of the way. Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
Grave digger. That's a grave digger mask. Happened in Mojo.
Shannon, my daughter wanted me to show you her Easter garden. It's on my Facebook. Oh. Oh.
Alexa, how much time is left on my countdown?
You don't have any notifications.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on your 10-minute timer.
Okay. Time.
And gold fingered a grave digger. You got a talent for 32, my friend.
Oh, you know what?
Always,
It's again, it's syllables.
always
Grave
say.
digger, gold finger. If the syllable count is there, I jump on it and I can't stop myself.
Ezekiel always knows the music.
He does. And whenever I sing, I feel bad because I know he appreciates good music. And that's not what I deliver. Sorry about that.
Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. You're very good. I learned so much from your videos and your live builds. That is happening Mojo.
I'm gonna start. I know I'm a little early,
You're early.
but I think it's
Laura Kirchhoff. Wait, it's not 2 a.m. and there's been no Jello shots. You can't call it a night. Oh, Laura. Laura, you're gonna make a story happen if you're not careful. Hello. Come on. Right now I have 3 cats and 3 dogs in the shop. Last time I did Jello shots, MHC. Wow, what a night. That's Ezekiel.
Yeah, MHC is a good time. That's a party show. Transworld is not really a party show. Now, people party at Transworld, but it's a business show, you know. People find their party, for sure, but it's a business show.
Can you bring the camera up a little closer so we can see?
Sure. Alexa, stop. Alexa, I've jumped the gun. Where you got this? Hang on, guys. I'm grabbing a comb.
The Aussies wrecked a dude at Transworld from the Christmas section. He woke up in the batch tub with his wife, not so impressed. Ezekiel, there is. You're amazing. What is the yellow at the bottom of this mask?
That's the chin of the bust, the sculpting bust. This is the bust it's sitting on is all. That's all that is.
Easter, Chad.
Oh yeah, have a happy Easter, everybody. Who wants to?
Or happy Passover.
Or happy Passover?
How about let's just say have a happy.
Sure.
Have a happy, people.
This is a very handsome wolf man.
His hair was perfect.
You monsters must lead such interesting lives.
His hair was perfect. There you go, Ezekiel. My stars, you monsters must live in interesting lives.
Okay, now that doesn't have, it has it on the fur, but it doesn't have it on there. So I've got to go in with just a little bit of contact cement. But actually, I don't. That's because I'm going to treat the edge all the way around here in a slightly different way. Because if you look, that's not the best hairline ever, because that's just the fur. It's the raw edge of the fur. Now, one thing that you can do is you can go in with a black Sharpie and draw the edge of that fur, but I like to actually go in with silicone caulking.
Do you have a lower jaw for this, or just makeup and teeth?
I'll show you in a second. Let me just show you. But makeup and teeth. But if you have a beard, it blends right in with your beard. Okay, so there's that. And I'll do it right along this edge of the fur. Just a little blob of silicone. A nice bead. And then you take the fur and you pull it down over.
Salt and Pepper Wolfman. He's older, but he's still active. He's the Wolfman you see in Viagra commercials.
Yeah, driving a sports car. This is the Wolfman who drives a sports car. You know what? I like gray werewolves. It's probably my favorite. One of my favorite on-screen werewolves. There's a great one in Bad Moon, and there's a great one in Cursed, which is I think a 2000s horror movie. There's one in Cursed. There's one in Bad Moon that's really nice. And I also love the brown one from The Howling, the original Howling werewolf, Eddie Quist. Played by Robert Piccardino. Wonderful. See, now that fur edge is gone. You know, and I can pull that a little bit.
Because I love how the black base of the fur frames the face.
And sometimes I'll go around with the airbrush and hit that hairline again. But I did say I was going to show you the mask on.
Edward Littleton wants to kiss it.
Mwah. This fuzzy boy is going to go to Puerto Rico. He will speak the Spanish. He'll be an hombre lobo. And when you buy one of these, you get teeth with it. So I'll have demon monster wolfman teeth in.
Wolf teeth.
That is a wolfman mask. When we started, he was based out in black, but we painted him tonight. We haired him tonight. So there you go. Now I'm going to go relax. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. So many of you tonight. We're trying to go live a lot more than usual because I know that some people are struggling with loneliness or they're bored or whatever during this very difficult time for the whole world. The whole world. And just like, I hope that you guys are enjoying us being live the same way that we're actually enjoying, going live. And this is how we spend time with people, because we don't have that option. But you guys are great. Thanks for hanging out. And go make stuff. We'll see you again.